proven to be very worrying regarding the former royal known as Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, making demands and wanting to know exactly where he lays in this particular placing over here with the British Home Office. But now, as ever, there's a development. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out for joining me today. Lovely to have your company. I know it's very 60s psychedelic, this, isn't it? You could call it like, what do you used to call it? A happening. Do you remember that? Very Woodstock. It's funny how things come back. You know, all the jazzy stuff that everybody sort of laughed about years ago, or, you know, when they went out of fashion. Suddenly it's all hip again, isn't it? If you keep things long enough, they come back in fashion. Well, that's what I'm hoping about myself anyway. Might come back in fashion, you never know. Back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. Now, as we all know, Prince Harry's still going nuclear over this particular decision over here by His Majesty's Council and of course the British Home Office regarding security. A lot of people are really baffled as to why he's pushing ahead with this, simply because when you look at the, to coin a phrase, catastrophic amounts of money that now he could be paying for, well, it's mind-boggling really as to who's advising him and why he thinks he could win this particular individual case. But moving forward now, there's a bigger issue, and one that really will come back literally to, well, shall we say, frighten the former royal himself. You see, it's alleged that he wants to now know who made the final decision about why and, you know, how and why not, etc. He cannot have the security that he requested. You get the picture. But what's interesting, you see, here is, according to a well-placed source at the Home Office, who I know incredibly well, they have no problem supplying that particular information. But here's the rub of it. As we all know, Harry and Meghan have been accused, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, of bullying staff. Something that's cemented with the fact that her late and wonderful monarch, Her Majesty the Queen, had to undergo a private investigation. Now, as we now know, we don't know, because that's the way she wanted it, what was exactly found out during that investigation. But things like this, you know, comments like this from Prince Harry, well, they do him literally no favours. And as one source at the Home Office pointed out to me, it's interesting, isn't it, that Harry demands, again we have to say allegedly, wishing to know who dared and why they've made a decision about his future security if he, when and ever decides to come back over here to the United Kingdom. Yet, seemingly, the ongoing battle over in the United States regarding his immigration papers and visa row have to remain secret. Now, as I told you before, a lot of the things that Harry and Meghan are doing, particularly him, whoever's leading him down this rather strange path regarding, of course, privacy and transparency, it's not working out too well. If the Home Office politely suggests, of course, that they would be more than happy to publish in full the details of all the relevant people associated with Prince Harry's security claim, would he then be willing to do the same with his immigration paper stroke visa row? It's an interesting thing, isn't it? And when you allegedly make comments like this, you very much have to be careful how they simply can bounce back. But as we've seen recently, Prince Harry apparently didn't necessarily mean to say that, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. RE is booked spare. It looks like he's backed himself into a corner, one that's going to cost him very heavily, so it appears. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.